Hello, today I will be going over the Unit 8 Geometry Review. So, number 1, sorry, this little box is in the way, says solve for M. Whoops. This is a mid-segment, therefore it is half of 30. So 30 divided by 2, M equals 15. Number 2, what is the length of QR? Again, this is a mid-segment, so it's just half of 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8. This is another mid-segment problem. Each of these are mid-segments, so it's half the length of the parallel side. So if this is 3, this is 6. EF is 7, CA is 14, DE is 8, so AB is 16. Find the perimeter of ABC. It's simply 14 plus 16 plus 6, which equals 36. That's the perimeter. Number 3. QR is 9. SP is 3. RT is 10. ST is a mid-segment. Therefore, RT is congruent to TP. This is 10. SP is congruent to QS, so this is 3. And ST is half of QR, so it'll be 4.5. AB is a midsegment. Find X. So if AB is the midsegment, you need 2 ABs to equal 1 XZ, so it's simply 3x minus 1 plus 3x minus 1 equals 34. Combine like terms. 3x plus 3x is 6x. 1 minus 1 is 2. Add 2 to both sides. 6x equals 41 divided by 6. X equals 41 over 6. I'm going to leave it as a fraction. Below is a triangle with mid-segment. Solve for the following variables. So we need to solve for x and y. This equation is the same as over here. X plus 4 plus another x plus 4 equals 4x minus 2. Combine like terms. 2x plus 8 equals 4x minus 2. Subtract 8 from both sides. 2x equals 4x minus 10. Subtract 4x from both sides. Bring it up here. Negative 2x equals negative 10. Divide both sides by negative 2. And x equals 5. Now we need to solve for y. I'm going to erase this really quick. So I've erased all my work. So I have more room. Because this is a mid-segment, this piece has to be equal to this piece. So 4y equals 6y minus 1. Solve for y. First we distribute. 4y equals 6y minus 6. Subtract 6y from both sides. 2y, or negative 2y equals negative 6. Divide by negative 2, and y equals 3. Number 7, find x. Again, we need 2 jk's to equal 1 vx. So x minus 3 plus another x minus 3 equals x plus 3. Combine like terms. 2x minus 6 equals x plus 3. Subtract x. And I'm just going to go ahead and add 6 at the same time, save room. So x equals 9. Number 8, below D, E, and F are all midpoints for their correlating sides. AC is 6, BC is 4, BA is 11. What's the perimeter of ABC? I think this is a typo, but as it's written, we will just do the perimeter. So it's just simply 11 plus 6 plus 4 equals 21. I believe it meant to ask what's the perimeter of DEF, in which case it would be this mid-segment is half of that, so it's 3. This mid-segment is half of that, so it's 2. And this mid-segment is half of that, so it's 5.5. And then you would add those 3 together to find the perimeter of DEF. Give the best name for this shape. This is a square. Parallelogram, rhombus, rectangle, quadrilateral. This is just a shape with 4 sides. It doesn't fall into any of the other categories. Trapezoid and kite. Those are all the shapes that we talked about this unit. Alright, solve for x in the parallelogram below. So for this problem, consecutive angles are supplementary, which means if you add them together, they equal 180. Solve for x. Combine like terms. 8x plus 4 equals 180 minus 4. 8x equals 176 divided by 8. And x equals 22. Find the value of p that proves the shape is a rhombus. Well, if we want it to be a rhombus, then these sides need to be congruent, because all 4 sides of a rhombus are congruent. So I set them equal to each other and solve for p. And 15 equals p if we want this to be a rhombus. In the parallelogram ABCD, what is the measurement of angle ADC? This one right here. Well, in a parallelogram, opposite angles are congruent, so this has to be 76 degrees. 19. In rectangle ATHM, y equals 2. Solve for x. Well, in this rectangle, we know that all the diagonal halves are congruent, so we can set these equal to each other. And we know that y equals 2, so I will simply plug in 2 for y. And solve. 2x plus 8 equals 4x minus 2. Subtract 2x from both sides. 8 equals 2x minus 2. Add 2 to both sides. 10 equals 2x. Divide both sides by 2. 5 equals x. Solve for x in the parallelogram below. Well, in a parallelogram, we know that opposite sides are congruent, so I can set this equal to that. And then solve. Minus 3x. I'm going to add 10 to both sides at the same time to save time. So it'll be 15 equals 3x. Divide both sides by 3. And 5 equals x. Time and room. Solve for n in the quadrilateral. Well, we know that every quadrilateral adds up to 360 degrees. I need to zoom in a bit. Does that say 78? Yeah. So it would be 360 minus 78 and 127 and 43. We get 112 equals 112 degrees. Solve for x in the quadrilateral. It's the same thing. All four of these have to add up to 360. So 68 plus 130 plus 108 plus 2x must equal 360. So I'm adding these up, which is 306 plus 2x equals 360. Subtract 306 from both sides. 2x equals 54. Divide by 2. X equals 27. Alright, the measure of angle B is 135 degrees. Find the measure of the other three angles to prove that this is a parallelogram. Well, opposite angles need to be congruent, so this angle has to be 135. These angles also must be congruent, so we take 360, subtract 135, and another 135. We get 90 degrees left over, and these two must be congruent, so 90 divided by 2 has to equal 45 degrees. In the square below, BC equals 2. What is the measure of AC? Well, we did an example of this in class. So if this is a square, I also know that this side has to be 2. Now I can use this right triangle in the Pythagorean theorem to solve for AC. So go back up here, get my black pen. It will be a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So 2 squared plus another 2 squared equals c squared. 4 plus 4 equals c squared. 8 equals c squared. Square root to get rid of the squared. And b square root of 8 equals c, which is the same thing as square root of 2 times 2 times 2. So take these, remove 1, and it's 2 square root 2 equals c. In rectangle ABCD, DC is 6 and AD is 8. What is the measure of AE? Alright, so this problem is very similar to the previous one. We can find AC by using the Pythagorean theorem, and then we just need to take half of that to figure out what AE is. So it's going to be a squared plus b squared equals c squared. 8 squared plus 6 squared equals c squared. 64 plus 36 equals c squared. 100 equals c squared. Square root 10 equals c. C is this entire length, though. We need half of it because the diagonals bisect each other. Therefore, AE equals 5. I'm going to pause this here and make another video for the remaining problems.